I told her I was just going to bring him downstairs to the studio for the podcast, and she's like, "Fine." And she's exhausted. I said, "I got so many videos that I can play on YouTube to zonk him out. I
Mm-hmm.
have like 18 hours of fantastical lights and shit to play with music."
Mm-hmm. Dang.
But like, he usually goes to sleep if he lays on us, but he's not going to sleep. He's not going to sleep.
I think he just wants to rage, bro. He wants to watch 80s movies all night with his dad.
With
While
vodka and Coke.
he drinks a
Drink a
vodka
drink.
and Coke.
So,
Man, he looks like so healthy.
oh, dude, this kid's fucking humongous, dude. He eats on the dot every 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Amazing.
You could set a clock to when he's hungry.
It's funny how kids, like, when they're like 1 to 5, they're so in tune with like natural order. Like when you set a schedule, they keep it better than you can. It's
Mm-hmm.
we lose it as we get older. Like our ability to micromanage this time schedule gets weaker unless we like habitually try to keep it in play. But like kids are naturally waiting for that first introduction for a structure, and once they get it, they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm eating every 2 hours and 45 minutes on the dot. Like my body's not gonna mess a second around. Like miss a second or miss a minute."
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, like, we can control hunger, but at his state of consciousness, at his immature mindset,
Right.
he
His,
can't
his
control
development.
he can't control his hunger.
Right.
And his body is growing at such a rate right now
Right.
that body his body and mind is at such a high demand for food
Yes.
nonstop. Like, you can see that he's gorged after he takes a bottle. You can see that his abdomen is gorged, and then
Really.
it goes away. And then when he's crying, he's not gorged. And then when he's satisfied, he is gorged,
Right.
and things of that nature.
Wow.
So it's a definitely unique science and a unique
My God, isn't it?
thing that's going on. So,
Man.
but he's awake, man. That's what's killing me. He needs
But
to be sleeping now.
you want him to be asleep right now. He's not going to bed anytime soon, guy.
Well, if I just keep doing this, like, I just put a new battery in the vibrating bassinet. It's got like this vibrating sensation to it. He's got the lights. He's got the music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Incredible, man.
So, yeah, man, that's what it's like being quarantined with a newborn.
I mean, this is like so legendary. Like you have one of the coolest dad experiences going on right now, I have to say. Like,
I guess, I mean, it can be, it's very frustrating at times, man, because we're
right.
stuck in the house 24/7, because I'll go out for a run, or we'll go on a walk, or we might have her parents or my parents over, or her brother and sister, or her sister and brother-in-law over. We might have company every once in a while, and we're very particular about the company we have. My aunt and uncle came over. My aunt and uncle came over yesterday, but they didn't even want to come in, and they didn't even want to touch us because they're seniors. So they dropped off some stuff. They said, here, and we chatted outside the house for like a good half an hour.
For a good 6 feet away, at least.
But we were 6 feet. Yeah, we were like 6 feet away talking to them.
Right.
And I was like, guys, I'm not as freaked out. And they're like, we are. I'm like, oh God. All right, fine, whatever.
They think the millennials are coming for them.
Well,
It ain't us, man. We didn't make the COVID. But yeah, it is scary. I mean, I know, people that age are like, I knew somebody that actually had bronchitis around the same week, and I was just like bronchitis. Like, what do you mean bronchitis? Like, are you sure it's bronchitis, right? and she's fine now. But like, you know, she's above 60, and her dad's even like 95 or something. He's in super good health.
She's 60.
She's like 60 or something, or like, you know,
she's in her 60s.
She's in great health. But like, dad 95, like 2 or 3 heart surgeries, like, you know, Nazi, like partisan, like killed a ton of Nazis like back in the day. He's like super healthy, but like she lives a couple blocks down the road and she can't go visit him, you know, one, because she's sick and she doesn't know what the heck's going on. Like,
killed a bunch of what?
She what?
Her family killed a bunch of what?
Oh no, her father was a Nazi, like a partisan.
A
So
Nazi partisan?
No, he was a partisan, and as a partisan during the war, you're trying to migrate across Europe over to Israel so you could help the birth of Israel happen. And so his entire family was killed, right? And so he was the only one of like 11 or 12 siblings, and including his parents, all perished. But the point of the story is that
but he killed who?
He killed a ton of Nazis along the way, like in Europe.
A ton of what?
Nazis.
Thank you. That's I didn't understand the word you were saying. Okay, killed a bunch of Nazis. Got you.
He got a bunch of Nazi scalps, and along the way met his wife.
He loves it. He's like, you finally said it right. Nazis.
I got it, buddy. I got it, Gabe. Don't you worry. I will get that pronunciation right.
He loves his little back rubs and his little tushy rubs.
Oh my gosh, he's so adorable, dude. I think he likes.
He doesn't like the light. That's what he doesn't like. I'm gonna put him in his bassinet.
Yeah, any fluorescent back.
So with that being said, welcome back to yet another episode of Zombie SquadCAST. Here in the midst of this quarantine, this COVID-19 corona quarantine. What's new?
I'm going to call you back in 1 second.
All right. So how's your show coming along? You've got your own podcast, Patience. How's that coming along?
I mean, it's good. It's obviously, it's much more interesting to have like a guest on the show. And I've always got like a couple, like 2 or 3 guests in mind when we want to do like a, fully scheduled episode, but then you got to get on everyone's schedule. Now it'll be interesting to see how everyone's schedule is with the coronavirus.
I'm sure people are a little bit more open schedule wise.
It's probably a lot easier because there was a lot of like between 3 people's schedules. It's like it tends to like compound in terms of something last minute comes up with one person and it throws off the other 2. But now I feel like it's probably way easier to get somebody on.
Right.
And there is this one actor that we want to have on, and I want to do like an investing episode, like a real, like a valuable, like 101 for like investing, breaking down this one book that I read. It's pretty much the basics of like what you would need to know for investing, like not like an idiot, and like understand, different things like credit cards and bank accounts, and just like a really good, solid, valuable episode with an actor. But we got to get him on. He actually did a scene. He was like the main actor in one of DJ Cashmere's videos.
Okay.
And super talented guy. And he was all interested when we pitched him. It was like last year sometime we pitched him. He was like, yeah, this is great. Like, I'm all about it. And he went ahead and did another podcast, which was like, a lower octane podcast. It was just a podcast for the sake of doing a podcast. And it was interesting. I got to learn more about him, and I'm going to use more info that I got.
So you were on his podcast, or he was on another one?
He did a whole nother podcast.
He does his own.
Because he was waiting for us to get back to him, and like 2 months go by, and he's like, I don't have to wait for your podcast. He'll still probably come on, but there's so many people doing podcasts now that like you don't have to wait. Like, you can just do another podcast while you're waiting for somebody else's podcast if you're trying to get out there quicker.
Right.
So.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's tricky to like, it's always tricky in, you know, as far as media goes and branding and like film and TV and independently starting, you know, a YouTube series or a podcast or a show or trying to like sell something and to get traction. But the second you get traction, I mean, you and I have, you know, different views on quality versus quantity. And I find like you got to find a healthy middle ground. And it's like, I can't see it. Can't see it. Can't see it. Can't see it. I can't see it. I know it's
Yeah.
excess. I know it's excess, but
It's this virtual background. You can't. It's just it's too crazy. The
can't see
background.
it.
Damn it.
All right.
If I drink it, you can't. You know what? It's because it's a green screen effect. It's not going.
Yeah, it's the green screen effect. It's the keying effect. It's the keying. It's the color keying effect. I mean, like I was saying. Wait. Make your background the fucking picture of the product. I'm sorry, dude. But you know, like we've had this discussion before, man. Like I couldn't. Okay, that. Nah, still can't see it. You have to have like a white. You have to have like a white room. There it is. Pomegranate. Looks so good. Oh
No,
no,
this is the.
that's the blood orange, isn't it? Is that the blood
No,
orange?
no, this is the caffeine-free one they sent me by accident because they messed up one of my orders.
Oh, I can't wait to get that blood orange that I just ordered from you.
Dude, it is. First of all, the ashwagandha is crazy, but like if you like, for me, I love the Pellegrino blood orange one. Like for years, and I used to drink it, but it has like 26 grams of sugar, like a can of Coke does.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just not. It's not healthy if you drink any kind of soda every day, and that's certainly no exception. Or if you drank a bunch of orange juice, or if you ate fruit all the time, it actually isn't good for your, you know, your glucose levels if you do it consistently long enough.
Mm-hmm.
But this is right; it's all sugar free, and it tastes like you're drinking something bad. That's what's funny about it, is that it tastes like you're drinking that soda or that, you know, Pellegrino that you love, but it's just got, you know, 100% of B12, which is like the best way to get energy, way better than coffee, no crash. You got your, you know, 300% of B6, and then just a ton of other good vitamins. But like energy drinks to this day, what I think is funny is that are still using sugar, which is they know is highly addictive and gonna get people to repeat buy and create volume in sales, more than trying to actually create people having an addiction on something that's good for them, that will easily also create a repeat buy, but it's more expensive, more
I mean,
research.
like even a product, like you're saying, like even a product, you have to like get traction. You have to get the word out, and you just got to keep kicking people in the head with your product, whether it's a podcast, whether
Right.
it's a YouTube channel, whether
Yeah.
it's music videos, whether it's a
Yeah.
fucking energy drink. And
Yeah.
here's one way to kick people in the head, you know.
Now, where have I seen this before? I feel like I've seen this before. What is this we're watching here? Looks like a mug I know who's currently cleaning an engine on the back of a fire truck right now.
So that's, you know, we don't have to watch that 18, 20,000 times.
Oh, we totally should watch it. You should totally give us the director's cut of it right now. Just saying.
Director's cut was I think we saw the director's cut. It's a 5-minute infomercial. It's not even a commercial, it's an infomercial.
But I mean, like the director's like, you know, when the audio is
Oh, the
low.
commentary? A commentary. Oh,
Yes,
okay.
sir.
Just drive
But
around your
I don't know.
neighborhood for 3 hours and keep drinking more and more and more energy excess.
Give us the play-by-play while we watch.
There is no excess with excess. You can't have too much excess. There is no excess with excess because it's that good. It's that powerful. And then you got this, what is growth hormone, growth and hormones.
Yeah, it's a pound of growth hormone. This is soap, bro. This is soap that's gonna last you like 2 years. It's a whole liter of G&H soap, which is amazing because it has green tea extract. It has white tea extract in it, which is immune building for your body. In these uncertain times,
In uncertain times, Gilby's vodka is the only thing you need to
Gilby's,
consider. Gilby's vodka is the only thing you need to be concerned yourself with. Okay.
yeah, yeah. But
Gilby's, $9.99. You want to talk about a leader, my friend?
this soap you should
This
bathe in,
this is
but you should definitely
1.75 liters
shower in that.
of good fucking vodka.
It's so good I would drink it.
This is 40%. It's a 80 proof. How many distilled? How many times distilled? See, the more times distilled, the better. Whatever, fuck it. It doesn't
Nobody
say.
really cares about vodka also.
That's the problem. That's the problem. Vodka,
Not a problem in Russia. Lots of people care about it in Russia.
not problem in Mother Russia.
It is not problem. I
It's
give
no
you problem
problem.
if you keep giving me problem. Do we?
Oh my God!
That
This is what we reverted to. This is our quarantine podcast. So name. Tell me about the most recent book, film, or show that you have ingested.
Yeah, so I'm kind of on a media diet. I've been for some years. I really haven't been watching much TV and movies, but when I do, it's like either like I hate it or love it. And so I had a love it experience the other day, and I'm not sure if we mentioned this on another podcast the other day, but the Hunters is like every little like Jewish kid's like comic book fantasy come to life, man. It's
Mm-hmm.
like they got the Black Panther. Black people got Black Panther. White people got 7,000 superheroes to choose from. I don't even know all the ethnicities, but there probably should be a Chinese.
White people have Captain America. Black people have Black Panther, but Jewish Caucasian, like your Aryan whites that are non-Nazis have Captain America, and then
Okay.
the black people have Black Panther. But
What about Chinese? What about like
the Chinese have Shang-Chi.
okay? What about Indian people?
Um,
They got that Street Fighter character with those legs, man.
what's his name?
I
Kunar.
don't know, but he has the longest legs.
Moving on.
And
But Jewish Caucasians or Jewish people in general have the Hunters, huh?
yeah, it's cool. We got Al Pacino on the team now. So as he's like 85
this is not the
years old,
first time Al Pacino's played a Jewish character.
Really? Is that right?
This is like the third or fourth time.
Well, give us the backstory on Pacino's tribe.
Dude, I don't know what it is. Why he gets? I mean, he can pull it off. He probably knows a bunch of Jews. He's been in Hollywood for like 80
pull off
years.
Anything. He's so good.
But he's really good, and like even look wise, not to be stereotypical, not to be fascist or stereotypical in any way.
Look, he's Mediterranean. It's a Mediterranean peoples he's playing.
Dude, if you type in AL, he's the first one that pops up on IMDb. But
yeah,
Axis, he's doing Axis Sally. He's doing Hunters.
What the hell is Axis?
He plays Jimmy Hoffa. Was Jimmy Hoffa Italian or Irish or Jewish? I don't know. He played Hoffa. But see, Phil Spector, I think, was Jewish. And he played Phil Spector.
Okay.
He played Roy Cohn in Angels in America, and I think Roy Cohn was a Jewish character.
He sounds like it. Yeah.
But he was in a movie called People I Know. He played Eli Werman. Eli Werman was a Jewish character in the movie called People I Know. He played Eli Werman. But then again, before that, it was pretty much Italians. Yeah. So this is like his third or fourth Jewish character that he's played. It's not the first time, but this is probably going to be his most like over the top Jewish character, Jewish character.
Yeah, it's a little heavy. Like it's
I
almost like
haven't even
the
started, but it is out on Prime because that was on the top of the list for me to watch. I've been waiting for it, and there's like trailer. I don't like the way Prime does things.
mm,
They advertise shit for months, whereas Netflix, if they're advertising it, it's coming out in like it's coming out the next Friday. They'll advertise something. They'll start advertising on Monday for something that they're going to put out on Friday. Whereas
mhm,
Prime will start advertising months out. And to be honest, Netflix is the king of streaming platforms. So the whole universe is used to Netflix's way of doing things. And
right.
so Hulu is streaming, but they won't Hulu releases one episode a week. Handmaid's Tales came out one episode every Wednesday at 10.
Hmm.
And it's like, why? Why aren't you dumping all the episodes just like Netflix does? Prime,
That's the way it used to be.
that's the way it used to be with regular TV,
Yeah,
but it's streaming. Netflix rules all. Everybody should be following Netflix rules as far as like the
right.
general public's mindset. And I'm even at fault of that, where
But Amazon's probably disrupting. They're trying to
they're
take back
trying to
some
do their own
power.
thing, and I get
Yeah,
that. But Amazon is bigger than just Prime. Amazon is product. Amazon is,
right.
sales and shipping and things of that nature. Yeah, I see it. Now you got your chocolate covered excess pretzels energy bar. But see, Netflix will dump all the episodes. Prime will advertise for months. Like with season 2 of Jack Ryan, we were seeing commercials for it, and then I'm trying to go watch it, and it's not available.
I
Season 2 of
wanted to
Jack.
see that so bad. It's so good. I'm sure it's so good.
That's a really good show. That's a
I
really good
love that
show.
actor
So
too from The Office.
so you're further along in Hunters now.
Not to mention he's married to like Emily Blunt too. Yeah. Uh, I don't watch anything, bro. I'm not watching anything. I'm
Except for
trying to.
Hunters.
I literally got a 30-day like free trial for Prime because I was gonna watch it, but like watch 2 episodes, 3 episodes, and that was it. I might watch it because I got the Prime for the month, but I'm not gonna sit here and like watch TV because I have 7 bazillion things I need to do. Like I need to hire people. Like that's how much stuff I want to get
Dude,
done.
I disagree. I disagree. With this quarantine, what else is going on? You can knock it out.
No, no, no.
It's
This is the
tricky.
best time ever.
It's the best time ever for entrepreneurs that are doing like this work from home, this mobile type of, business
I
building,
could
this
cold
this
call
brand
people
building.
all day, like
Absolutely.
I'm a wolf of Wall
Absolutely.
Street out here, and not even feel
I'm
bad
I'm
about
sitting here editing
going
Rogues.
out. Yeah,
I'm sitting here editing. I finished Rogues. Rogues is completely finished, and it's scheduled for release. Date
yeah,
to be date to be. I'm not going to release the. I'm not going to put out the release date just yet, but Rogues is finished, and I'm in the middle of editing Sinister, and it's probably only going to take me a week. It only took me a week or two to do Rogues. It's going to take me
yeah,
another week or two to do Sinister, and
yeah.
then schedule the releases because I'm doing the old school, TV, the way Hulu does it, one episode a week. That's how I do Sinister and Rogues, because why not milk it? Because a lot of YouTubers do the same thing. But back to what we were talking about. And I think we mentioned this in an earlier podcast episode, is that the movies in the theater, they're kicking them out to on demand already.
Well, because they have no choice right now for the indefinite 6-month period.
Bro.
It's like streaming like just became the future like overnight because of this
But
pandemic.
coronavirus kicked it into like triple time.
High gear. So now it's like, if anybody was curious about what the future would look like, where like everything was virtual, like this is it. We're like living through it right now. Preview of like everything that's gonna be like. People are gonna go out, but like we're gonna have so much more reliability and like comfortability with like virtual solutions. So
Yeah.
like everything on top of being able to go out too.
And so the beauty of that is, me and the wife Melissa, we watch Hulu pretty much all day, every day, and of course, we have the Prime package with Hulu. We have like the premium package, and they still fucking show commercials,
Right.
which pisses me the fuck off.
Advertising is the biggest
But
industry. It's not going anywhere, bro. Nike wouldn't be what it is without advertising. Come on, man.
Well, I'm gonna bring that up in a second. I'm gonna jump back on to this whole advertising bullshit. However, on Hulu, we saw a commercial for the movie The Invisible Man. They just did a remake, a new updated version of The Invisible Man. And it was in the theater probably for a week or two, and they dumped it straight to on demand because of the whole quarantine. Obviously, it's a worldwide fucking quarantine. So me and the wife watched it. The best fucking movie out right now. One of the top 3 movies out right now. Out of the fucking blue, some Blumhouse, who did The Purge, who did I think Blumhouse did the Saw movies, the Purge movies. Lee Winnell wrote and directed this movie, The Invisible Man. It's an updated remake, retelling of The Invisible Man, the classic horror movie. And brilliant filmmaking. I saw through it. I was able to predict a whole bunch of shit. The wife saw a couple of things. Some things are kind of predictable, but as far as filmmaking goes, horror, suspense, thriller, Invisible Man, the best like horror suspense movie of the year. Fucking intense, great CGI, great special effects, great filmmaking, great cinematography. The way they shot this movie was fucking brilliant. But it's intense. And
what's the name of the film?
I might as well just say spoiler alert, because you haven't seen the movie, have you?
I don't even know what's the name of the film.
Well, what's the chance of you ever getting around to watching the movie?
In like 5 years,
exactly. Because all you're doing these days is reading books, and you watch like one episode a week of Hunters, and you're reading books and you're making cold calls.
I'm not doing all that, but
I have to watch stuff. I have to watch movies and TV.
No, listen,
that's homework for me.
About that, I had some divine inspiration earlier today about writing a screenplay. I got a great idea, and because of the dialogue that we've had in the past about how I want to like move forward with like how we should write something.
We can jump on that later, because that's our agenda as we move forward through this quarantine. Okay. Let's not jump ahead just yet. I do want to talk about your film ideas, your screenplay idea, and things of that nature. But that's like part 3.
I'm not gonna dump it on here. I'm gonna
Hunters. Oh, I know you're not going to give the whole thing on here, but so I mean, we touched upon like that. So I guess we're in week 4. We're just starting off on week 4 of our quarantine. My baby boy is going to turn 1 month old tomorrow. So that pretty much tells me Lachayim, Mazel Tov.
For all those that can't get in the land, the
cheers, and L'chaim.
Bang.
So, getting on to like our second portion of the podcast, discussing how our life is impacted. So now here we are, like I was saying, this is week 4, I'd say. If my baby boy is about to be a month old, that's probably essentially week 4 of this quarantine. How would at this stage, how would you say your life is, as of today, impacted still by this quarantine? Differently, the same? better, less, etc.?
I mean, I would just, I gotta say, like, I feel like I'm on vacation from life. Like, I feel like this is,
Okay.
it's really nice when, like, think of a runner on a track, like a long distance runner. He's trying to get to the end of a track.
Okay.
If all of a sudden, like, he could just stop in the middle of like mile 4 out of like 10, it would be kind of nice to like just to be able to not run, you know? That's
And
what it
his
feels
run
like.
wouldn't be affected.
Right, exactly.
He's
He could
he's
take off.
half. So what you're saying is you're halfway to the finish line, but you
Right.
can stop and rest. Most times when you're running a mile or a 2-mile run, you have to keep going
Hmm.
until you reach 2 miles.
Right.
But now you can stop, rest, but you only have like a mile or even a half a mile left, and you can rest for days, and then continue with a quarter mile, and you fucking kill it. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah. I mean, it's like I was getting ready to like, you know, do another 6-month run basically and just get all my stuff knocked out. And it's cool. I get to now like catch up on reading, like that I wasn't like expecting to like get as much time on, but like now I can, and now I can do, you know, basically I can focus more on how I can refine execution as opposed to just rushing to get it done and rushing to get it done and rushing to get it done. I could sort of map out a little bit more of the year, a little bit more of the 3 year, the 5 year. Like normally it's like 6 months, 1 year. I'm like heavily like macro focus on like 1 year max, and like 6 months and like 3 months and 1 month. But now I feel like I can really take a step back and be like, what I really want the bigger picture to look like in a less rushed way, you know? So it's nice, man.
I get that. I get that. I'm kind of still like since our last episode, because we're doing kind of like daily to like bi-daily episodes.
Right.
I'd say I'm still in the same spot.
Yeah.
I've got my batch of projects that I gotta knock out, and luckily I do have the 2 shows and 2 films that I have to edit. You know, post-production, edit, master, and release. I mean, there's a whole slew of scripts and outlines that I'm working on, that you and I are working on together. I'm working on alone. Me and my brother are working on some things,
Oh yeah.
some ideas, and
You and Paul?
me and Paul are working on some ideas together, things of that nature.
God damn it. Let me get in on that, man. I want to work with
Zombie Squad,
shit.
but not to cut you off. Absolutely, but not to cut you off. But Zombie Squad's picking up again. Couple more episodes of Zombie Squad. Zombie Squad took like a fucking 2-month hiatus because of the baby, and then the quarantine. So some episodes of that are coming out, and I'm trying to like, you know, find a way to squeeze, you know, every little buck out of this quarantine. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to find ways to prank the wife every day. But me and the wife are pretty much living in Shining. I mean, it's like the quarantine. It's like
So
cabin
wait,
fever.
so please help us understand where the motivation, where the inspiration behind using The Shining as a big metaphor for
If
your
you're
life.
familiar with this, if you're familiar with that fucking movie, if you've at least seen it once, it made an impact, and you know what the movie's about. And I guarantee you, 5 out of 10 families are dealing with the Shining complex, this cabin fever complex that's cooped up.
Describe the phenomenon that
So,
is
okay,
the
so
Shining cabin fever complex.
we can jump on this next. We can jump on a secondary a film. I touched upon this on previously, but this film, you know, the book. I'll be honest with you. I never read the book.
So what?
The Shining, Stephen King's The Shining. I never read it.
Yeah. Okay.
But I saw the Stanley Kubrick film with Jack Nicholson and Shelley Duvall,
Along with the
and
rest of us.
along with the rest of us. So I take it you saw it too.
I mean, everybody's seen The Shining, bro.
But so you've seen it.
Yeah.
So it's important to have seen it
Yeah.
for people to understand it. So there's another documentary out there. I forget what the documentary is called. I think the documentary is called Room 213. And it touches upon a number of theories behind all these different influences and all these underlying messages that Stanley Kubrick's trying to like say in the movie. But basically, in my personal opinion, people are like, there's ghosts, the hotel's haunted. That's possible. Jack Nicholson lost his fucking mind. He was
I think most people would agree with that.
And I'm taking The Shining.
In reality and in the film.
Is the kid psychic? Who knows? The kid's whole psychic ghost thing is, in my opinion, is in the father's mind. Everything is everything is within the father's mind. And he's cracking up.
Yeah.
He's cracking up. Yeah. You could watch the movie and think one thing. You could go back and watch the movie again and think something totally fucking different. And then you could have someone tell you, well, it could be this third thing. So you watch it again and you're going to completely change your fucking mind. There's this whole theory about ghosts of Native Americans that were slaughtered 200 years prior. And then, and they're on, and this hotel is built on grounds that was Native American property with Native American burial grounds that the hotel was built on. And so it's all Native American ghosts. It's demons. It's now, in respect to Stephen King wrote a sequel book, which they made a sequel movie called Dr. Sleep. Ewan McGregor played the kid growed up.
Did you say Ewan?
Ewan McGregor. What do you say? Ewan?
Isn't Ian McGregor his name?
I don't think it's Ian.
Is it Ew? Like Ewan McGregor?
It's spelled EWAN. So you tell me how that's pronounced.
We're gonna have to get some comments on this one. Is Ewan McGregor's name Ewan or Ian McGregor?
It's not Ian.
Comment in the comment section below, please, because we don't fucking have a clue. We're gonna need some help. Thanks, guys. I really don't know. I thought all these years. I feel like I've been duped. I feel like I know the guy's name.
All good. Hold on.
Now his name I found out is Ew.
That's fine.
Ew. All right. In other more depressing news, 99% of Italy's corona fatalities were people who suffered from previous
medical so hold on
conditions.
Hold on, my friend. Let's stick to one subject here.
99% of Italians' coronavirus fatalities were people who are already sick. 99%.
That's great. So the pronunciation, Ewan. We were both pronouncing it wrong. Ewan, E-W-A-N, is distinctly American and incorrect. The name has Scottish Celtic origins and should actually be pronounced Ewan, Y-E-W-A-N.
Oh, I should have known that from you Irish.
I mean, I was skipping the Y part, Ewan, and I was pronouncing it Ewan, but Ewan.
It's Ewan.
Ewan McGregor.
Yes. It's good to know this is Celtic. This is a Celtic classic name. I feel like we should know. Ewan
McGregor. So Ewan McGregor plays the kid Shut up. Ewan McGregor plays the kid grown up, finds another kid, living in his neighborhood that have The Shining. And they both can read minds. They're both psychic. They deal with other people that are psychic and suck souls. So there is the paranormal. So Stephen King wrote a sequel book and they made a sequel movie that explains that, yes, it is paranormal, it's psychic, it's spirits, it's demons, et cetera, et cetera. They go back to the hotel and they deal with that. Hold on, I got to deal with the kid. So they deal with to go back to the hotel and they deal with the paranormal aspect. But I mean, this is like a whole nother, like probably a 4-hour podcast just talking about The Shining, because there's ways of taking The Shining as just face value. The dad's just cracking up, cabin fever. He's fed up with his wife and kid. Oh my God, this kid.
God, the irony.
So you can take the movie at face value. You can take the movie at paranormal value. And then you can take it at like 3rd and 4th and 5th level Native American, American history, American slaughter, things of that nature. Stanley Kubrick's view. There's this whole theory that Stanley Kubrick directed the videos of the moon landing because it was a hoax, and Stanley Kubrick was hired to direct all the footage to make it look like we landed on the moon in the 60s.
I heard that, yeah, that theory, right.
So the documentary Room 213 explains all these different theories behind.
Oh, I've seen that. Oh, that's a great documentary. Yeah.
And explains all these different theories, and that the movie The Shining was Stanley Kubrick slickly admitting that he produced and directed the moon landing videos because they were a hoax. Because he even like did a bunch of stuff. There's a bunch of subtle images in The Shining, the movie, Stanley Kubrick throwing at Stephen King like, this is not your book anymore. This is my movie. Like in the book, it was a red.
Those are two powerhouses. I could see that. How that went.
Yeah. So in the book, it was a red Volvo Beetle or whatever. What Volkswagen Beetle?
Mm-hmm.
And in the movie, Jack Nicholson's driving a blue Volkswagen Beetle. What is that? Is that a candle with a flame on it? Oracle candles. I can't see you, man. You're killing my show. You're bringing my show to a complete and utter fucking halt. Hey, fuck it. Anyway, The Shining, good fucking movie.
You gotta focus, bro. You gotta take the punches. You gotta take the curveballs.
Whatever.
That's what makes it great. That's what makes you great.
Quarantine curveballs.
But speaking of which, I found an incredible artist today. I think I really feel like it's worth sharing.
So that's how you're impacted. So is this how you're impacted? No, this is your next agenda. You found an incredible artist. So tell me about this.
Well, yeah, no, I mean this is not me like, this is me plugging back into society, like, and like focusing on like what other people are focusing on. It's like an American Idol contestant from like last year, but like he's just like so mind-bogglingly talented, and like I could definitely tell he embodies artists that I have a great deal of respect for in his music. And he's like 24, he's like 25 now. And he's since been on American Idol and placed second and all of that.
Who's this?
His name is, I think it's Alejandro Andra. He is so good.
Okay.
He is so incredible. I just feel like I rarely get to feel like a special moment with talent like that ever. I mean, even if it's just on the internet or you hear a song randomly, it's so rare that like I even let myself have moments like that where I'm like looking for it or like I run into it, like whatever the case is. But yeah, just an incredible, like rare find. Like I feel like is totally worth his weight in gold, you know, just in every possible way. But let me show you what I mean here.
Actually, I should probably not do that.
Thanks for just showing me your entire life here.
Yeah.
Just broadcasted.
Please edit. Please edit that.
All right, I'll fucking edit. Yeah. I just don't have a timestamp. That's the problem. I don't have a timestamp.
Yeah. But this guy, dude, I mean, oh my God. Like, I cannot tell you how rare a talent like this is. And I just realized he has a video out that I haven't even seen.
Hey, it's Brian from Sam Art, and if you're trying to build a real business on
Skip that ad, dude. Skip that ad, bro.
Glenn, can you hear this?
Just like every other kid, but I was homeschooled, picked up music.
Yo, could you hear the audio on that last one?
I did. Yeah. I mean, for the most part, it worked for me. I saw some playback issues, but so this artist, you know, directly, you know, indirectly.
I don't know him at all, man. I just discovered it was a YouTube algorithm that found me.
Oh,
It was on
okay.
American Idol. It's just a crazy, like, it's all talent, man. Like, when you see something that's incredibly special, it doesn't matter if you know them, don't know them. It's just, you just feel very lucky to have come across something that's so authentically great, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I can tell you for sure, because all of these judges on American Idol were like, you're too good to be on this American Idol show. And of course he lost to some other more American Idol friendly country singer, but he's definitely the most authentic, like original, like writing original songs, performing original music on a platform that isn't really meant to like break a star until after they win. He was like broken into the show before he placed second. So he was playing all his originals where like most people are just doing covers on like American Idol. So and he just put out a new song 3 days ago, and he got signed to Hollywood Records, 154,000 views.
See, that's the thing. Like, it's mostly like the third, fourth, and fifth place losers on American Idol.
The ones that are
in no way, shape, or form,
the ones that are truly going to have careers.
Yep.
Yeah.
The ones that fail off. The ones that fail off of American Idol are the ones that actually find more efficient. What is that?
This is his new video he dropped 3 days ago.
Do you want to share it?
I could.
Oh. So I totally forgot where I left off. So, you're artist. So this is just some cat that you found on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean he's a American Idol last season's second runner. Gotta be kidding me, man.
Not for the weak at will, my man. Not for the weak at will.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. Being a daddy is something else, man.
You gotta wear your Batman suit and cape every day.
And not only that, with the quarantine, dude, it is 24/7. I can't go to work. I don't have daycare. There's no need for daycare. There's no need for babysitters.
Yeah. Welcome to Daddy Daycare, bitch.
It is all fucking day, every day.
This is what women do all the time, every child they ever raise. So you're just getting a glimpse into fucking...
Well, goddamn. Goddamn.
This is right, dude.
No shit.
And imagine the women that are working full-time jobs and raising kids. Yep.
Single mommies. Yeah, but they dropped the kid off to daycare of babysitters. They dropped the kid off to They dropped the kid off to daycare of babysitters, though.
No, most
the kid doesn't stay home. The kid doesn't stay home by itself at three weeks old.
most moms are on maternal leave, right, for a little while.
Maternity leave, yeah.
Maternity leave, right?
Yeah.
And then you're saying that they get some sort of babysitter for some years and then they get into school. But ultimately, the moms, when the kid becomes a little bit more of a, less of a chore and more of a routine during the daytime, like the kid is just there.
Less of a what?
Less of a chore, more of a routine. Like the child is more self-sufficient. The child is more.
I can't wait for this kid to turn 10, dude.
Just be happy at 5, because at 5, the kid will be able to feed itself.
At age 5, the kid is still at least alive. He made it to 5. Every fucking year is an achievement. Holy shit, you're a year older. We fucking did something right.
Immunity pack. Get this for all those parents who are dying of stress and can't raise
You're a
their
fucking
kids.
you're a sales whore right now. You are a sales whore right now. Check the links below. I think
Wash those hands. Don't touch your kids without washing your hands.
I think at this point, we're gonna have to bring this podcast to a close because it's been a fucking complete shit show. Literally, this kid diarrheaed everywhere through his onesie, through his swaddle, through his blanket, diarrheaed everywhere. I had to take everything and just throw it in the washer. And his shits are starting to stink. When literally from 0 days old to about 3 weeks old, their shits don't stink. It's like this weird shit that like newborns have. And then I think at about a month old, it is rank, dank, green, liquid, toxic, alien
bacteria,
goo.
bro. The bacteria is
alien goo, dude.
The bacteria is magnificent. It's crowned. It's you know what the word corona means? It means crown.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna have to just bring this podcast to a close. It was a great podcast. I think we got a lot of useless information out there to the public. I say today is what's today? Sunday, March 29th. What would you say your next agenda is for the next day or 2 or 3?
My next agenda, probably the next few days, is meet monthly goals. I mean, sales goals every month are a big thing when you are trying to run a business. So, got to meet your monthly goals. So that, and just trying to catch up on lots of backlog of the podcast and figure out, how to reacclimate myself into this new COVID world that we're like just getting cozy in right now. For the next 6 months, it's going to be a whole life shift that I don't quite know the answer to all of the decisions that we have to make to be productive. But boy, it's gonna be a real fun ride. I can't wait.
My next agenda, I mean, you said it perfectly. This new COVID-19 world, this new coronavirus world. I mean, this is seriously going to impact. And I'm not saying that the coronavirus is that major of a disease, of an epidemic or pandemic. It's just the way we're handling it right now. Just this next month or 2 is probably accurate. It's probably proper and accurate and correct way to handle it. Quarantine, stay inside, 6 to 9 feet, social distancing, but it's drastically changing the way we live now. And it's going to change the way that we handle things in the future. I mean, we're going to be very cognizant of how we interact with each other.
Look, I got to tell you,
oversee like this, like travel, health. It's going to drastically change the way we live for the next 40 years. Go ahead.
I'll tell you, the communist Chinese party was about to take over the world, and all of a sudden the Wuhan and Hubei provinces completely disrupt every supply chain for our manufacturing, for our pharmaceuticals. So now we are forced to start creating local solutions in our own country, and it's automatically happening overnight. Hand sanitizers are being locally produced. Purell is going to have new factories in Texas, I imagine.
Every state, why not? Hey, I mean, don't you think at this point, U.S. production is going to quadruple, if not quintuple? We don't want shit coming here from China, and not that saying, you know, outside sources is a bad thing, you know, but even getting something shipped from Arizona.
Dude, China's the devil. China is a communist regime.
Okay, you said that, not me. I'm not going to get it.
Even Chinese people know this. They come to America because of this. Estonians live in Estonia. They don't really come to America that much. Hey, look, communism is still real in very few places in the world.
Here's the joke. Here's the joke. I got two different beer stores that I go to. I got two different beer, wine, liquor stores I go to. One is owned by Asian Americans, and one is owned by...
I love Asian culture.
One's owned by Pakistani Americans. And everyone's like, yo, don't go there, man. They're bringing it over here. And I'm like, what's the chances that they went back home in the last 6 months?
That's about as legitimate as every, you know, Muslim is a jihadist or...
Exactly. I mean...
Stupid, bro.
You know, the guy sits there with rubber gloves on all fucking day, bathing in hand sanding. He's about as clean as you and I. But
because you and I are American, we're super
clean. But that stereotype, that fear of outside sources, of outsourcing, of foreign import export, is going to quadruple, if not quintuple, U.S. production. We're going to start making our own shit. We're going to start making our own shit again.
If there was ever a conspiracy theorist that was afraid of the globalization of the world and China taking over and the Soroses of the world unifying, you know, currencies into one thing and destabilizing American currency and cryptocurrency and RFID chips, like, this is the one correction that will shut all that down, because now each country is going to be autonomously responsible for their own resources. They're going to go back into what makes each country great about producing what's good for that country.
Well, it's going to go back to like Spanish flu, the 1900s, 1910s, 1915s, when America made its own shit. You know, we had our own factories and we produced something.
Look, I give credit by proxy, by indirect, you know, causality that Trump is in office. But if America turns out to become great again on his watch and America starts producing its own goods, I don't care if he doesn't enact the, you know, the Production Act or whatever, private companies start helping out, because America will figure it out without him, with or without him. They'll just figure it out. They'll just figure out the company's got to start being self-sufficient. Our problems are not the government's problems. Our problems are communities. Our problems are on the state level. Our problems got to be solved by every local community in America.
And that's the thing. That's the thing. Trump's office sent out these postcards to every household in the U.S. And what it said was, abide by local and state officials.
Amen. Federal.
Didn't even say federal. It didn't even say federal. We're at a state level right now. We went way the fuck down. Well, that's state and county and city level. Not even the fucking federal
That's
level.
What makes America great, is that there's this idea of federalism. Federalism is what makes America unique, is that each state has their own sovereignty in a way. It's like, as much as we think America is one country, every state operates like the way in Europe, like how they tried to unionize like Europe.
Every state has its opportunity to operate independently until federal has to jump in and correct that if it gets too out of line.
Right.
And then, but then within the state, you got fucking counties, and then within the county, you got cities. But I'll give you a totally different out of the blue 5-year-old, 10-year-old example. Bethesda, the city of Bethesda got rid of all fast food.
Okay.
And the city of Bethesda had a huge boost in economy, in small business, local business, independent breweries, independent pubs, independent restaurants, because Bethesda said no fast food, no McDonald's, no Burger King, no Wendy's, no nothing, no Arby's, no fucking. There's in Bethesda, I think there's one, maybe two 7-Elevens. There's no fast food in Bethesda. There's a fucking shit, and so it even grew to the point to where there's this event once a year, Taste of Bethesda, and it's all the local independent mom and pop restaurants, pubs, breweries, delicatessens, bakeries.
I would honestly prefer if we didn't
Right?
have large monopolized corporations and we had a bunch of small businesses,
And throughout Montgomery County, I could be wrong about this, but throughout Montgomery County, I don't know. I have no fucking clue where the nearest Walmart or Target is. I have no clue. I think there's one Target. I think there's one or two Targets.
Does that affect you? Like, do you like care?
Positively, it affects me. I think
Right.
there's these mini marts. There's this, like I was telling you, the beer and wine store. There's Travilla Beer and Wine that the Asian Americans own. There's up the other road, there's the Darnestown Mini Mart or wherever the fuck by the Domino's Pizza that we went to, and the Pakistani Americans own that. And it's like these independent mom and pop shops. Even better, it's immigrants, because that's what America's made of. It's immigrants opening up a tiny little shop, making a buck or two, entrepreneurs, and doing their thing from the ground up, as opposed to fucking corporate fucking Walmart, Target.
And look,
Walmart and Target has a terrible stigma against it right now. But when I say Walmart and Target, I mean, shit. I mean, I would go to Walmart or Target for something. I would go to them for formula if I had to. I go to Giant for formula if I have to. I go to Trader Joe's or Shoppers for formula.
Was that my boy Gabe?
Yes, that was my boy Gabe. He did a gah. He heard formula and he was like, "I'm hungry again."
Good.
All right, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Now, and yeah, I mean, that's a stigma when I say Walmart or Target. That's just a negative stigma, because I would go to them first and foremost if I had to get formula for my kid. But small businesses first. And I think this event, it's terrible, man. Like, a lot of people are dying. A lot of old people are dying. A lot of kids are dying. I mean, a lot of people are dying in general, and that's
not a lot of kids.
And that's terrible. What?
Not a lot of kids.
Well, not a lot of kids, but the point I'm trying to make is that I don't think this is a good thing, but I think
something good will come of it.
There's always something good that comes of it. I mean, with the Spanish flu that we had, that drastically changed us and made us persevere, and we're going to persevere from this as well. But I mean, the next agenda is not only
human beings have never evolved to something greater wise having their backs against the wall.
Yeah, I'd say for my next agenda, small wise, like I already mentioned, I got the shows Sinister, a couple of films that I got to finish up editing. Agenda wise, big agenda wise, I got the kid, keep him safe, keep him healthy, and take advantage of this downtime so that this kid knows me, because who knows what happens down the line. Something big comes up. I gotta skip town. I gotta deploy. I gotta, who knows? As long as this kid's getting every minute of my time now,
Amen.
Is the best parenting and the best fatherhood this kid could receive.
Best investment you're ever gonna make in your life, for sure.
Last couple of seconds, sign off with any socials, any plugs you want to put out there.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead and visit www.amway.com/my shop/Oracle Health. Link in the description. I've got an immunity pack, $70 for a liter of soap that'll last you a year and a half. An immunity pack with echinacea and the most rich source vitamin C from acerola cherries in the immunity pack and twist tubes. So be sure to check that out. Subscribe to Dead on Pictures, subscribe to Patience of Podcast. Zombie SquadCAST coming soon. We're going to have Chris on the next podcast. I hope. He is currently deconstructing an engine.
He's not deconstructing. Decon means he's decontaminating.
Oh, he's cleaning. He's cleaning an engine.
Yes. They're bleaching every orifice of that fire truck. Yes. Decon means decontaminate, not deconstruct.
So why can't after cleaning, after doing a little polish of an engine, can he hop on a podcast? Is my question.
It's a fire engine. I don't know if you've ever been in a fire engine. He said it could take up to anywhere between 6 to 12 hours to decon a fire engine, or it's either a fire engine or an ambo that they're deconning. And yeah, brother, if it was a coronavirus patient, they're going through every little crevice and orifice. You've been in an ambulance? I've been in an ambulance, and there's all these fucking.
Yeah, I worked on one very briefly.
And they're Clorox wiping every little fucking crevice and nook and cranny in that fucking thing. And they're probably piggybacking on each other. So as he's going through every little crevice, the first crevice to the 100th crevice, someone behind him is redoing the first crevice and the second crevice up to 100th crevice. Takes hours. I've done that with the military to an extent, and I can see how that would take fucking 6 to 12 hours to decon a fucking vehicle, an emergency vehicle, an ambo or a fire truck. Fuck yeah, dude. So I'm gonna get a date and time for the next TechFall appearance. I'll get a date and time with you. I've got a bunch of other freelancers in town that want to jump on and discuss their coronatine extravaganzas, and so we'll figure it out, man. We'll get them on there. But until next time, like Mickey said, subscribe, like, share, comment, ring the bell, get the notifications, watch every single episode, like, subscribe, comment. Share your thoughts. If I get one comment, I guarantee I'll respond to it and I'll shout out to it, because based on our viewership right now, we ain't getting shit. So, you're going to be the first one we hear from. But we love the struggle. We love the hustle and grind. And we're here in the fucking quarantine of our basements and of our attics, taking advantage of it. So hopefully we can build upon this and reach out to each other. Until next time, like I said, like, subscribe, click all the links in the description below. Get Mickey some sales on his Amway, on his Neutralites and on his product. Check out my shit. Hit it, click it, love it, like it, and catch you next time.